The new era of the DCU is here, and under James Gunn direction, I would say it's off to a super start. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Lawrence Reports to talk about my review of Superman the movie. And yes, I saw the movie last night. I got my action figure right here, and I must say, this right here was one of my most highly anticipated films of 2025. And James Gunn did not let me down. James Gunn's Superman film is action packed from start to finish. This right here is the quintessential summer blockbuster that we all needed, while also sticking to the mythos of who Superman is, while trying on unique styles and new possibilities and realms of who Superman can be. At a time like this right here, I really do believe that this Superman movie was everything what we needed. There's a certain amount of peace, prosperity, and healing that came along for me with watching this Superman movie. We see what's happening in our world every single day. We turn on the news. I think James Gunn was able to take a piece of that, or several pieces of that, for being honest, and put it into this film and just made it in its own way a very certain unique style. I really believe that we got a chance to see hope and compassion back on our movie screens again, because again, what's going on with this world right now, we need that hope and that compassion. When you see that Superman symbol right here, that's what it stands for: hope, compassion, and a better tomorrow, basically, right? But keep in mind, this is the start, so I can't wait to see what they're going to bring to the table. And James Gunn definitely set the table for us DC fans. If it's three words I had to describe this Superman movie, it would be humanity, hopefulness, and triumphs. Those are three words that came to my mind when I left the theater last night while I was watching the movie. James Gunn really did it big on this one right here. And it reminded me so much. I know James Gunn was pulling from the comics, but as I was watching it, it reminded me so much of a live action version of Justice League Unlimited, a cartoon that I love absolutely growing up. And I must say this right here: David Corn Sweat, we got to talk about him. I didn't know. Listen, I was a big Zack Snyder fan. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I love our previous Superman, and I didn't know if David Corn Sweat was going to be able to pull it off, but I gotta admit, he pulled it off. I am a believer in David Corn Sweat and what he's doing as our next Superman. I'm 100% behind him. I'm rooting for him. I can't wait to see how this franchise continues to pan out over these next, hopefully, 15, 20 years and so on, as long as we live on this earth, right? One of the things I love so much about David Cornsweat Superman is that he's literally his own Superman. He didn't try to pull too much from Christopher Reeves or Henry Cavill. He's literally his own entity, right? And I love the brightness of the film in itself, right? And there was also the emotional aspect to the Superman movie. I can admit the movie definitely had your boy kind of emotional, a little bit teary eyed, in a couple of scenes here and there. And the way James Gunn shot it, there was a couple of camera scenes that I saw. I was like, oh, okay, that's a James Gunn type shot right there. I could tell that he was in his bag when he was shooting this right here. Now I'm going to talk about some of my dislikes. Right, it's not a lot of dislikes here, not a lot of dislikes. Some of the jokes, they didn't necessarily land with me. I can tell it was a very James Gunn if that's not even a real word, I'm pretty sure it's not. But it was a very James Gunn esque aspect of certain parts of the movie that I did not like, right? But other than that, besides those some of those corny jokes, I thought the movie in itself did and was a pretty good, solid movie. And now I'm going to talk about some of the characters. Of course, my guy, Mr. Terrific, Eddie Gathethi. Listen, they was right about you. You was indeed a scene stealer, from your genius intellect to the way you create the T-spheres and the tech that you had. Yeah, you did put on performance. I really liked him a lot. We know it was up to him and Lois to basically save the day. And they did exactly just that. I can see James Gunn hopefully and potentially giving Mr. Terrific maybe a spin-off or something like that. Maybe him and the Terrifics together. Maybe his own movie. I don't know. Maybe something comes to HBO Max, one or two. But no, I truly enjoyed this character. He basically embodied Mr. Terrific. If you read the comics with the T-spheres and the Fair Play jacket, of course, he definitely embodied. Talking about Eddie, he definitely embodied Mr. Terrific. He was very smooth, very nonchalant. He was kind of a little bit of a cocky character, a little bit, Because we saw that one scene, we told those agents that work for Lex, get out my way. Like, I know who I am. I'm Mr. Terrific, right? And he has a certain boldness that I loved about him. That's one of the many reasons why I love this character, Mr. Terrific. And I love just the tag team and the communication that Superman and Mr. Terrific had together. That one scene with Mr. Terrific, whenever he was walking through and Lois was in that bubble that he created with the T-Sphere, absolutely peak, as they would say. That scene was incredible to me. I was like, yo, this is dope. This is amazing right here. Lois Lane. Lois Lane for me, she was okay. She was okay. If I'm being honest, my favorite Lois Lane was the Lois Lane from the CW show, Betsy, from Superman Lois. That was my favorite recent memory of Lois Lane. She was okay to me, not a whole lot for me. I really enjoyed Ma and Pa Kent. There was that one scene when Clark was talking to his daddy, and they was on the farm. It got your boy very emotional, very emotional. I really enjoy his mother. His mother was actually funny. She's a great comic relief in this film right here. She was absolutely amazing. Calling the dad Mush, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, Clark, I got your boots for you. You know, she had that real southern Midwest accent. Very, very funny. Now, my man, Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen, I was unfamiliar with your game in my Shaq voice, right? Listen, this man Jimmy had the ladies. They wanted him. He was a smooth talker, right? But he was very outside of Mr. Terrific as far as being an MVP type character. He would be my runner up for being an MVP character because he was an MVP basically, right? Because his connection to the women, to Lex's current girlfriend, actually basically foiled the plans for Lex. So again, this casting of the actor, by the way, who played Jimmy Olsen, absolutely perfect, right? Now I'm going to get back to the heroes. Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner, great. Cocky. I love the ring. I can't wait to see what he's going to do. Of course, I hated that bull haircut. But other than that, he was very, um, I don't want to say self-righteous or anything like that, but he was just so kind of mellowed out here and there. Hot Girl, man, they could have gave Hot Girl more lines. And I hated that screaming that she kept doing. I'm not a big fan of her helmet either. It's okay. Again, they could have gave a little bit more character development with Hot Girl. Metamorpho, he was cool as well. For me, Metamorpho, I saw a person that was unfortunately trapped in a system, but he wanted to make sure that his son was okay. It was basically was like, listen, if I have to sacrifice myself for my son, I'll do that. So Metamorpho was cool. It was great to see his powers as well. I need to see more. Also, Perry White. We didn't get a chance to see too much of him like I would have hoped. More of the whole Daily Planet. I would have loved more of that as well. But yeah, other than that, and of course, Lex Luthor. I saved the. Oh, we'll get to Crypto too. He just popped in my mind. But Lex Luthor. Listen, this was a very menacing Lex Luthor. I don't think I've seen a Lex Luthor that was filled with this much hate as I've saw with this one right here. This one right here absolutely hated Superman, hated the whole immigrant aspect, hated how he was always stealing all the shine. He hated Superman to his core. Very grimacing. He did the unthinkable. Y'all know what happened when he pulled out that gun. I was like, they really took it there. I was surprised. I was truly surprised. But this Lex was different. This Lex was scary. But that genius intellect, he's really ready to risk it all, literally. Crypto, my guy, loved him so much. Absolutely, the way they had a Crypto in this right here. Crypto was here to save his savior. You know what I'm saying? His owner, which is of course Superman. The way he actually beat up Lex at the end. Love that so much right there. Crypto was a bad dog. Crypto was bad. Crypto need to get some training. Crypto needs some training, y'all. I'm sorry. He need to go to some training because that was a very bad dog. But Crypto was also very good. Another one of my favorite characters in Superman. As we know, Superman is supposed to be that beacon of hope, right? Our favorite Boy Scout, right? And yes, this movie was somewhat political, right? You saw it even in the trailer when he was talking about immigration, stuff like that. And yeah, It was political. I saw the message. I got the message, and there was a message behind this movie. And I hope that everybody else was able to receive and understand the message of what James Gunn was trying to convey in the Superman movie. Overall, for me, I would give this Superman movie a solid 9. I think it's off to a great start. There's some hiccups here and there, but the comedy, we'll leave it at that. We're not gonna go too much into that. But like I said, little hiccups with the comedy, off to a solid 9 for me. Make sure y'all go check this out. I think what James Gunn is building is going to be beautiful. I'm a big fan of DC. I can't wait till it all pans out. You know, we got Supergirl coming. We got Lanterns coming. I can't wait to see that. We still don't know what's going on with the Batman. Is it still going to be Elseworlds project? Are we going to have our own version of the Batman DCU? That remains to be seen, right? But overall, this was a great Superman movie. I would definitely go see it again. Make sure you tell your friends about it. Please check it out. This was a great Superman movie. Like, James Gunn really bought it. Like, I was really impressed at what he was bringing to the table. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.